Hi guys, just a quick video of the upcoming Wolves game against Brentford. It is an away game. To be honest, I've not really been looking forward to it. Brentford look really good at home. To be honest, I haven't been too good away from home, but the home games, I think obviously with the fans and being in their own stadium, they seem to really grind out something from the game, either get a win or get a draw. I remember the Man United game where I think it was like 4-0 they won. They've just got a really good fan base and good stadium there, good support. So it's a really difficult place to go. Brentford as a team, for me, is kind of like the worst kind of team for Wolves because they're quite a physical team. The forwards, the defenders, everyone's quite big, built, physical. Reminds me a little bit of the Burnley side that went down that we really struggled with. We did beat them last year, only just, I think it was 2-1, goals from our midfield, Neves and Moutinho. So I think there is a chance, but I'm just not looking forward to it. And after what happened in the Leicester game, some of the players just don't look like they really want to be here. Johnny Otto was just terrible. Looked like he had 20 pints the night before. He just couldn't chase anyone. Didn't want to be here. Hardly got out of a jog. He just isn't good enough. Now, I know Semedo didn't do much better against Palace, but I think he's had a good bollocking. And I think a lot of the replays of the goals, obviously at Wolves, round the players and stuff, I think they all know that really Semedo should have done better. So I think he's had a good telling off. I would definitely start him, and then it'll be a mixture between Hugo and Nori, who starts, who gets subbed on. I'm not quite sure. I think Nori does deserve a chance. Hugo's been really good, but I just don't think we can just keep on leaving Nori on the bench. I think maybe we've got to try and mix it up with the both of them. They're both really good players, so it's difficult. I can't really knock Nori. I think he's done alright this season. I think compared to Johnny Otto and Semedo, he's been probably our best fullback. The big problem for me is the free midfield. I just don't know if Moutinho should be starting games. Maybe he should be starting games, but I think he should be subbed off at a certain point, maybe 50, 60 minutes. I just think he doesn't seem to have that fitness after those kind of minutes. For me, I would completely change the formation. I would go back to a 3-4-3 because we need points. A team like Brentford, you've got to get some points here on the board, even if it's a draw. And I think just with confidence, just to get that point would be amazing. I would go back to a 3-4-3 because our fullbacks just don't look good enough in a 4. Put them as wing backs with a 3 at the back, they'll look much better. And I think Totti's done alright. I'll put Kilman in the middle, Totti on the left, Collins on the right. I think it could work really well. Nori on the left, Semedo on the right. I'd probably put Neves and Nunes in midfield, but then there is an option there to potentially bring Boubacar Traoré in if anyone needs a rest. Up front's a difficult one for me. I'd probably stick with the same 3. I know they didn't get goals, but they worked pretty well together, and they got 21 shots, 5 or 6 on target. So goals are going to come. I thought they got really lucky. Leicester with that block, I don't even think he knew what he was doing. He just kind of put his leg out and hope for the best, and it stopped Costa's shot from going in. And Podence' shot, the keeper had to pull off a worldie. I just think goals will come. I know it's really frustrating, and they didn't do that well against Leicester, but I think them 3 are okay, probably our best options. But then a part of me does think sooner or later I've got to get Guedes in. So I'll play them 3 and maybe bring Guedes in as a sub. Maybe for someone like Podence or Costa if he's struggling. So that's probably the lineup I would do. And I just think we've just got to make sure the team's really up for it, because Brentford are a really physical side. They'll push you around. No more tippy-tappy football that we've seen from all these players. Flicks from opponents. We need good, strong football, good passes, no flicking, and just be aggressive. Do you know what I mean? We just have to put the ball in the back of the net. A little bit like Bournemouth. They're not actually a great team. They've not got great players, but they just do whatever it takes. Scrappy football, that's all we need. A bit of guts, a bit of snot. We just need to get the ball in the back of the net and just hopefully get something out of the game. I personally don't think we'll get anything out of the game. I just think the confidence is too low. But I'm going to be I'm going to say it's going to be a draw, I think. 1-1, I'll probably go for that. I do feel like we've got a goal coming, but I do feel like they're at home. The crowd's going to get them on. I think they'll probably get a goal as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you over to the Brentford channel, Billy the Bee, and he's going to talk a little bit from the Brentford side about what he thinks of the game.
Hi, it's Billy from Besotted podcast and blog here, besotted.com or prideofwest.london. You catch us on, and talking to you on the eve of the Wolves versus Brentford, or Brentford versus Wolves match on Saturday. Big game, probably for both of us actually, because we've been going for a bit of a sticky patch. Probably it's best to say the last few weeks. We've just come back off a massive beating down at one of your local rivals, Aston Villa, on Sunday. Went down there on Sunday and it didn't go according to plan. We literally were behind from like about 2 minutes in. Lovely sunny day it was. We had a good pre-match, good post-match, but the game itself was a disaster. We were 3-0 down within 15 minutes and it wasn't going to get any better from then. You know, you might say, why were we 3-0 down? We've got no idea. I think the formation probably wasn't right. We don't know whether or not 2 games in 4 days. We haven't got the squad for that because we played very well against Chelsea a few days before, and there's an argument to say that we should have beaten them as well. They had very little sort of high quality chances. We had some good chances. We didn't quite take them, but it's a great game. And before that, we also beat Brighton as well, which was a really good result as well. You know, we took our chances on that day and we did really well. Brighton didn't take their chances on that day. Ivan Toney scored a great goal and a penalty as well. So we got those 2 results, and we don't know whether or not 3 results in a week with a squad like we have. You know, if you look at the other people with big money who can afford to get sort of big money signings on the bench, isn't quite right for us, because we've brought in quite a few players. People like Damsgaard, we come in, Lewis Potter as well, who've come in, but they haven't quite got onto the starting lineup for the Bees as well. We're still trying to get them in, you know, just up to speed as it is. So and then when we got players out like Norgard, so Norgard's been out for us as well for a while, for quite a few matches, and we've noticed as soon as he was out of our side, our form has dipped massively and we're kind of a bit touch and go. Key player, central defensive midfielder for the Bees, Norgard, but he's been out. So, you know, it has affected us, but we have to adapt in this league. We've had a great season so far, to be fair. We beat Man United, we smashed Man United 4-0, so that was great. But a number of other good results, and we're sitting, you know, mid-table, I suppose. So you can't really argue if you consider where we've come from, you know, and where we're looking for. And for me, you know, I'll be quite happy for us to, I'd say, survive. You know, obviously we don't want to go down at this time. So, you know, me keeping my fingers crossed, saying, look, you know, let's just hope that these injuries that we've got at the moment don't affect us. Let's hope that the heads don't go down. I think we're a stronger team than we were last season. You know, we've just had, you know, we've had, like I said to you, we've had Ethan Pinnock, who's been a great defender for us. He's been out all season, but he's just come back. He didn't have a great game. We had also lost 5-1 at Newcastle a few weeks ago, and that was a gutter, because we got up there for a wicked weekend up there, great weekend, and obviously the game didn't go to plan. Literally every mistake that we could have made, we did that. Literally giving the ball to the opposition and then putting the ball in the back of the net. We did that about 3 times for a start, and just own goals and everything. It was terrible day out. But you know, I think sometimes in the Premier League you have those days where you could get bashed. The following week you do really well. So, and Pinnock didn't. I thought he had a good game that game, but then towards the back end he was very tired because he'd been out all season, and he made 2 sort of quite horrendous mistakes, giving the ball to the opposition and kicking the ball in the back of his own net. But he had a brilliant game against Chelsea. He had a fantastic game against Chelsea, showed that he's back. So like I said to you, players like that coming back into our side actually really does help us. Playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers, you know, Wolves, I've always known they've been a good side. They've been a very good side with some very good players. We've always got to watch Wolves. I know you beat us at our ground last season. We beat you at your ground last season. You seem to create a lot of sort of decent high opportunity chances, but don't put them in the back of the net. That's what you were like this season. This season, I know that you've had a bit of a managerial scenario that's changed, and I don't know if you're sort of creating as many high quality chances as you are before. It looks like you're not creating the opportunities, definitely, and you're definitely not scoring. So I think that might be the problem. But I'll never ever underestimate Wolverhampton, because we played you too many times and you've pulled some things out the bag. So I'm going to be a little bit nervous about Saturday. We need to get a result, obviously, to get ourselves back on track. Our team is going to be pretty similar to what it's been before. Our midfield may change around a little bit. Will Onyeka start again? You know, will De Silva come into the side? These are all questions that we're going to ask. Obviously, Janelt, who's a player that cost us about 27p, you know, but he's been an absolute revelation. He'll be in the side for sure. I think the midfield's going to be key, because if we could do that, we can feed Ivan Toney, who's been a bit frustrated the past few weeks. Then I think we're going to do all right. So Saturday against I've got the Brentford, actually watching the Brentford Academy girls actually over here now. Just got to go and see them in a minute. So fingers crossed they can get a result, which will actually give the lads a bit of a boost on Saturday. But fingers crossed, if we can do what we have done previous to these two calamity of the games that we've done, I think that it could be all right. I'm not going to give an overscore prediction because I'm not going to do disrespectful. I'm on a Wolves channel here, but all I'm knowing, like I said to you, we just got to keep you at bay because you've got some very, very good players. And if we do what we're going to do, hopefully we might be able to nick one. But like I said to you, Wolves fans, you're welcome. You know all the boozers in Brentford, like the Globe and the Nelson and that, like, you're still welcome to drink it then before the game and after the game. And also there's pubs around Kew which are a little busier than the ones around Brentford. The Brentford ones are still pretty busy, but it's up to you. Enjoy yourselves, have a good day out, enjoy the game, and I'll catch you later. It's Billy from Besotted.